I doubled my salary switching into an industry that requires no degree. An industry that is booming and screaming for people. I had something completely different planned for this video. However, after seeing a number of videos in my video feed talking about high income and not a single one mentioning this one industry, I knew I had to make this video for you guys. My name is Johan Peterson and I created this channel to help you guys grow and develop using tips and methods that got me where I am in my career. Today, I will not only reveal this high-paid industry that no one is talking about, I will also tell you how to get into this industry depending a little bit on your background. I'll talk about education needed, we'll talk about different roles in the industry, and of course we will talk about the salaries. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video so you don't miss any of this. The industry we're going to be talking about today has been expanding rapidly, but completely exploded during the pandemic. It was a $160 billion industry in 2020. It's also an extremely fun and rewarding industry to work in with great perks and awesome colleagues. The industry we're going to be talking about today is the video games industry. And we will be talking about a number of different things which will all be very valuable to you. We will talk about salary. We will talk about education needed. We will also talk about what roles there are, how you can switch into this industry. And finally, what about the working hours? Let's start talking about education. I'm the head of a department in my company. I have no degree. I tend to never look at the education part of any CV when people apply for jobs. In most cases, I feel education maps zero to real life jobs. Don't get me wrong. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, of course you need an education. But that's not what we're talking about today. The important thing for me though, is that you can take relevant experiences and learnings from your past and turn them into value for whatever role you apply for. If we talk about roles for a second, there are some roles that are really specialized, like artist or designer or audio roles. There are also a lot of roles that map really great to other industries. Project management, software engineering, marketing, branding, and a lot more. And this is great news for you who already have some experience in one of those areas. So how do you switch into the video games industry? Let's look at it from a few different experience levels. If you have next to no experience or come straight out of school, I can still see two options for you to get into the industry. The first one being an internship, and the second one applying for a job with quality assurance. The important thing is what happens next though. You should go really above and beyond to show your value. Show that you can take on all of these new learnings and grow, and then take on more and more responsibility. You should also get to know your team and be as valuable as possible to your teammates. And when you become a regular full-time employee, you have all the opportunities in the world to grow and pivot towards your dream job. Stay a high performer and a continuous learner in this industry, and the options for you are endless. On the other hand, let's say you have some relevant experience. Like me, I was a project manager in a completely different industry. As long as you're passionate about games, a creative problem solver, and you embrace change, you could apply to a role like development manager, producer, or project manager. Before you interview though, make sure you read up on the industry and the company to understand how your past experience can add value in your new role. And if you get the job, be comfortable being uncomfortable for a while and be ready to learn fast. If you put this effort in for the first few months, you will be rewarded with an extremely enjoyable job. The growth opportunities are also endless, especially if you have ambitions to grow as a leader. Whether you get in with little to no experience or with some experience, it's important that you look at your new career as a ladder. You take roles step by step as your experience grows. Each step will be taking you a little bit closer to your dream job. Remember, patience is key. Don't stress things and make sure you pick up experiences along the way. Before you take a new step, make sure you learned your current role well. Then the next step should be a role that you only master to like 60-70% because that will give you room to grow and keep you engaged. Before we move on, I'll post a link to a video I did recently on getting your dream job. What about working hours then? The video games industry have quite a bad rep in this area. While this is still true for some companies, most video game companies value their employees much more these days. Having people leave and hiring new ones is not sustainable in today's competitive environment. Like with any other job though, I recommend you to do some research on the company you're applying to and make sure they promote a healthy work-life balance. Of course, like any other job, there are days with longer working hours. Finally, let's dive into the compensation packages. I used to have a quite high-paying job as a group and project manager in the IT industry. Switching to a similar job in the gaming industry, doing the exact same things, I doubled my salary. But more importantly, I get to work this amazingly fun job with great products and extremely talented colleagues. Every single meeting I'm in, I feel like the most stupid person in the room. That being said, these days, most video game companies offer highly competitive compensation packages. Staying a high performer will also likely give you promotions along the way, which will boost your salary without having to switch companies. I switched into the gaming industry almost 7 years back, and I never looked back. I've grown more than I ever thought was possible. I've worked with the most talented people in the world, and I still learn new things every day. Like I mentioned earlier, the games industry is screaming for ambitious, talented people. So make sure you look at the video game jobs next time you go job hunting. If I've left any questions unanswered, please comment below. I'm more than happy to try and answer any of your questions. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe for more valuable content next week.